All right, today we are tackling a huge financial decision, one that pretty much everyone has to make at some point, buying a car. We're going to break down how much car you can actually afford, and I'm telling you, the answer is probably going to surprise you. Let's dive in.
You know that feeling, right? You walk onto the lot, you're feeling good, and then a few hours later, you're driving away in something new, but you've got this pit in your stomach, this nagging feeling that you might have just made a very, very long mistake. Trust me, you are not alone. So, just how big of a deal is this? Well, this number kind of says it all. $742. That is the average monthly payment for a new car in America right now. And get this, that's before you even think about insurance, gas, or maintenance. That is a massive chunk out of anyone's budget.
And here's the part that really stings. The literal second you drive that brand new car off the lot, its value drops by about 20%. Poof, gone. It is one of the fastest ways to lose a huge pile of money. So how do we avoid all this? Well, in this explainer, we're going to start by looking at something I call the car affordability trap. Then we're going to arm ourselves with the smart buyer's rules. After that, we'll do the real math and see what your salary actually buys. And finally, we'll tackle the biggest question of all. Is it your car or is it your wealth? Let's kick things off with the trap itself. You see, the whole system is kind of designed to make cars that are way outside your price range seem completely affordable. So what's their playbook? Well, first you have to remember this. The bank is not your financial advisor. Their goal is to make money on your loan for as long as possible. So what do? They'll stretch those loan terms out to 7, sometimes even 8 years just to get that monthly payment number to look really low and tempting. They want you focused on that monthly payment, not the thousands in extra interest you're paying, and definitely not the fact that your car's value is dropping like a rock that entire time. Okay, so that's the problem. What's the solution? Well, this next part right here, this is your secret weapon. These are the rules that are going to keep you safe and help you make a genuinely smart decision. The most famous guideline out there is the 24-10 rule. It's simple, but man, is it effective. Here's how it works. You put down at least 20% of the car's price. You finance for no more than 4 years, that's 48 months max, and this is the big one, your total transportation costs. We're talking payment, gas, insurance, everything has to be under 10% of your gross income. Now, some folks think even that's a little too risky, so they follow a more conservative rule, 23-8. The 20% down payment stays the same, but you shorten that loan to a maximum of 3 years, and you cap your total costs at just 8% of your income. The logic here is pretty straightforward. If you can't pay the car off in 3 years, you're buying more car than you can really afford.
Now, we've mentioned this a couple of times, but it deserves its own moment in the spotlight because depreciation, it's the biggest, baddest, most overlooked cost of owning a car. It's a silent wealth killer that's working against you from day one.
And just look at how fast it works. In the very first year, your car loses almost a quarter of what you paid for it. By year 5, it's lost around 60% of its value. So that $30,000 car you were so excited about, 5 years later, it's worth maybe 12 grand, even if you took perfect care of it. Ouch. Okay, so we have the rules. Now for the moment of truth. We're going to apply these rules to different incomes and see what that actually means. And I'll warn you, this is where the dealer's fantasy collides with financial reality. Okay, let's just look at this chart. If you're making $50,000 a year, your total monthly transportation budget is about $340. Now, once you subtract what you'll pay for insurance and gas, you're left with enough for a car in the $6,000 to $8,000 range. Even if you're making $100 grand a year, the math still points you to a car that costs around $25,000, not that $60,000 luxury SUV. This is the hard math they don't show you at the dealership. So here's the tough truth. For most people, you can't really afford what society calls a nice car. What you can afford is reliable transportation. And believe me, there is a massive, massive difference between those two things. Understanding that is the first step to choosing financial health over just looking good. And that brings us to our last section, where we really see how this one choice can ripple out and affect your entire financial future. This isn't just about a car payment. It's about your ability to build real, lasting wealth. So let's imagine two people, Sarah and Mike. They both make $75,000 a year. Sarah falls for the trap. She buys a $35,000 SUV with a long 7-year loan. Her car costs eat up 18% of her income, making her car poor. Mike, on the other hand, follows the rules. He gets a reliable $15,000 sedan that he can pay off in 3 years.
Now, fast forward 3 years. Sarah is underwater on her loan, meaning she owes more than the SUV is even worth. Mike, he owns his car free and clear.
But wait, the story doesn't end there. This is where things get really powerful. Once Mike's car is paid off, he does something absolutely brilliant. He keeps making that same $395 payment, but instead of sending it to the bank, he sends it to his own investment account.
And the result of that one simple move? Over the next 10 years, that money grows to over $68,000. Let that sink in. While Sarah was still stuck paying for her car, Mike built nearly $70,000 in wealth. That, my friends, is the power of opportunity cost. This really just sums it all up, doesn't it? Cars are wealth destroyers, not wealth builders. Their primary financial function is to take money out of your pocket, not put money in. The truly wealthy understand this. They buy assets that grow their money, not liabilities that drain it. So, what's the game plan you should walk away with? It's really just 4 simple steps. 1. Be brutally honest with yourself and separate your transportation needs from your wants. 2. Follow the 24-10 or the 23-8 rule like your financial life depends on it, because it kind of does. 3. Buy reliable used cars. Let someone else take that massive depreciation hit for you. And 4, the most important step of all, invest the difference. And that leaves us with one final crucial question you have to ask yourself. Go take a hard look at the car in your driveway. Is it a tool that's serving your life and helping you build wealth? Or is it a shiny anchor that's slowly draining your financial future? Ultimately, that choice is yours.